are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Hello. The first time I did one of these live streams, it wasn't working and saying I wasn't doing it, so apparently I'm on again now and it's saying I'm doing it. Weird.
Quietly now. One with nature. Gotcha. Into the wind. Let's light it up.
My internet pack ends now within 30 minutes.
Oh.
The wind knows me. A fateful moment.
Validity, bro.
Heard of that one.
Take it easy. Tomorrow I will recharge with 250 rupees.
Alright.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call.
It's internet pack raid.
Busted. One with nature.
Have your dinner fork and knife with plate.
Not yet.
Take it easy. Into the wind. Gotcha.
Gotcha. Busted. Everybody stand! Here comes the catch. Body and mind. It's 6 a.m. nearly midnight in India, bro. Body and mind.
Jeez.
Rain outlines your... Quietly now.
One with nature.
Gotcha. What's your PC specifications?
I'm on PS5. I've barely had a PC my entire life.
Hello.
Hello. I've changed profile picture again. Jesus.
Yes.
Indeed. I'm getting the setup after Christmas. Not now. After Christmas.
I will join later.
Okay.
Time to... Teamwork is strict. Let me weave you a verse. Know my sword.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Quietly now. Busted. Game's up. Time's over.
Time to go.
Quietly. Busted. Everybody stand.
Into the wind.
Rain cutter.
The wind knows me.
Let's light it up.
As one with wind and cloud.
Rain outlines your fate. quietly now.
Into the wind. The wind knows me.
No, my
I'll
sword!
come back.
Take it easy. I played the whole of Undertale to make a video. It took 5 hours just to get 8 views.
Jeez. You got there in the end, though, right? That's all that matters.
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
I know some people like, yeah, think of the title. The title's the best thing to think of. But then it's like, if you're autistic, such as moi, you can barely think of one. I've learnt to go and look at other titles of videos and stuff,
Time to go.
and then these people have been like, oh yeah, if you look at titles of videos that have done well, grab ideas from them and do somewhat similar. With a similar type of video, but not the exact same, of course, because if you get the exact same video, then obviously, yeah, YouTube aren't gonna like that. But still. Well, so when I do get Molly, you know what? Doing just fine, really. Also, when I do get my, do you know what? Which everyone's going mad about. It will be pre-built because I don't think I could build one to save my life. To tell y'all. Got this other woman in the group that I'm in, and she said, oh yeah, I think it was one of her mates and her son that built their own, so, you know. I definitely don't think I'll build my own. Don't think I could get anywhere close. No way in hell.
IGTG, I'll be back soon.
Okay.
Time to go. Sure. to go.
I at least need 120 hydro. I'll at least need 120 hydro sigils. Which is going to take me a long, nice while. Absolute fun. Not really. I'm lying. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be a nightmare.
Time to witness the power.
Wind strike. Cloud high.
Gotcha. Body and mind.
Quiet.
Things are about to get dicey. Everybody stand back! Huh?
One with nature.
Let's light it up!
I'm both lying and slash being sarcastic at the same time. This is not gonna be fun. Oh my god, I got it. What are you doing, Minky? Oh, Binky. Carlo. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Carlo. Thank you, Carlo. Thank you, Carlo. Please. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 71. So if I do a 10 pull now, I'll probably get her. But can't guarantee it.
Off we go.
Follow the wind.
Time to act. Grain cutter. Here comes the catch.
Diana special! Think you can poop?
Into the wind.
Quietly.
As one with wind and cloud.
Busted. Rain outlines with... Let me weave you a bird.
Shake it out!
Quietly now.
Look at you, Blue Down!
Things are about to get dicey.
The wind knows it.
Gotcha.
Fallen leaves. A door.
Busted. Rain cutter. Quietly now.
Into the wind.
Gotcha. No, my sword. Game's up. Fun's over. Okay, good night. 5. Bro.
Alright, see you, bro.
As one with wind and cloud.
Quietly now. Let me weave you a verse. Here comes the catch.
One with nature.
Busted. Honor alive will see no light. Hampton waving.
Okay. That's fine by me.
Quietly now.
Doesn't have to be in every time, you know. I'm just glad that you guys join whenever you can, really.
Gotcha. Witness the power.
Into the wind.
No, my sword. Quietly now. Game's up. Fun's over.
One with nature.
Look at you, Boomtail.
Busted. Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your...
The fate of this world is already.
Teamwork is true. Shadow Raven, let night fall.
Lament. Worthless. Here.
Burn!
Oz, reveal that. Everybody stand back.
Time for retribution! As you wish, me.
Teamwork is dreamwork. By royal decree.
Verdict is...
Disappear. Here. Worthless.
Midnight Phantasmagoria. Everybody stand back.
Burn!
Useless.
Oz, reveal. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Time for retribution!
Evil conquering. Here. Worthless. Here.
I summon thee.
Nah, dude, I can't do this. This is just too dumb.
Take it easy. Rain cutter.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Gotcha.
The wind knows me.
Here comes the catch. Body and...
Into the wind.
Witness the power.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Quietly now.
One with nature.
Gotcha. Rain outlines your... Game's up. Fun's over. Quietly.
Scratch. Can't have it.
Gotcha. Let me weave you.
Into the wind.
Quietly.
As one with wind and cloud.
Busted. Here comes the catch. Quietly now. Witness the power of Viwes. Rain outline. Busted.
Fallen leaves adorn my nut.
No, my sword. Game's up. Fun's over. Quietly.
Shake it and stir.
One with nature.
Rain cutter.
Can't handle your dream.
Gotcha. Time to act.
The wind knows me. Time to go. One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Shake it and...
Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Witness the power of Viwes.
By royal Stand with me. I'll settle this. The Temple of Wisdom.
Verdictors? Midnight Phantasm. Burn!
Lightning terrified. This may turn a little. Odds, we're... Committed to memory.
No rest for the wicked.
Midnight Phantasm.
Verdictors?
Out of my way. Stand with me. Grow, grow, grow. Make yourselves at home. By royal
Time for retribution!
Lightning terrified.
Midnight Phantasm. Verdictors?
This may turn a little. The Temple of Wisdom. Stand with me. Yeah, grow, grow, grow. Odds, repeat. I'll settle this. Midnight Phantasmagal.
Time for retribution!
Committed to memory. Sharing my knowledge. Lightning terrified. Dissipate. strong. Grow.
Okay, that is a massive improvement right there.
The wind knows it.
No, my sword! Gotcha! Busted!
Into the wind.
Quietly now.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night. The wind knows it.
Ring cutter! Huh? Scratch! Busted! Game's up! Fun's over.
Can't handle your dream.
Gotcha! Time to...
Into the wind.
Let me weave you a bird.
As one with wind and cloud.
Busted!
Shake it and
One with nature.
Quietly now. Things are about to get set. Ring cutter!
Into the wind. One with nature.
Gotcha!
Fallen leaves, adorn.
Not good! No, my sword! Quietly.
The wind knows it.
Gotcha! Time to act. Let me weave you a game's up. Fun's over. Busted.
One with nature.
look at you, Boomtown.
Clouds high. The birds.
Quietly. Rain outlines your face.
You can
Busted. Here comes the catch. Ring cutter.
The wind knows it.
Gotcha.
This way, pretty little midnight phantasma. Dissipate.
Time for retribution!
Yeah, grow. The Temple of Wisdom. Committed to... I'll settle this.
Burn!
Stand with me. Raven, let night fall. Out of my way. Everyone hold hands. Make yourselves at home. Grow.
Time for retribution!
Odds for... Lightning strike. Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom. Wings of darkness. Come, sever next.
Burn!
Out of my way. This way through the... By royal decree.
Midnight Phantasm.
Sharing my knowledge. Committed to memory.
Time for retribution!
Stand with me. Midnight, fantastic. I'll settle this. The Temple of Wisdom. This may be... Oz, reveal the... The minute to minute... No, life lasts forever. Our bond is strong.
Retribution! As you wish, mein Fräulein.
Lightning strike.
This?
Our bond is strong. Midnight, fantastic. Out of my way. By royal...
Busted.
Time to go. One with nature.
Body and mind.
Shouldn't get careless.
Fallen leaves. Adorn.
Shake it and
Quietly now.
The wind knows me.
can't handle your dreams. Come,
Gotcha.
Into the wind.
Witness the power of force. Game's up. Fun's over. Quietly now.
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Gotcha. Rain outlines your...
The wind knows me.
look at you.
Busted. Let me weave you a... Here comes the cash.
Shake it and stir.
One with nature.
No, my sword. Quietly.
Clouds high. The birds come. The wind knows me.
Take it easy. Gotcha. Witness the power.
One with nature.
Things are about to get dicey. Busted.
Shake it and stir.
Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Quiet. No. Gotcha. Time to act. Rain cutter. Rain outlines your... Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
The wind knows me. One with nature.
Oz, stand with me.
There will be no excuse.
But hey, I got further that time. I got further. Is that on Guru? Okay, nice, nice, nice. Can I claim anything from here? No. Well, that's a joke.
Chivalry will never die.
I'll take care of it.
I need to get him a better feather. And probably a better sand. Okay, a better feather and maybe a better sand. I don't really know. Why? A second. Hang on. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Not these lot. Not these lot. Let's check the Luke teams for a second.
This is what Kaya and D-Look together looks like. Okay. Oh my god, that was surprisingly good!
Yeah?
Do you want a mini fish?
Yeah, go on then.
What are your D-Look stats? Crit EM attack? I'm glad you asked. My D-Look has 3500 attack, 187
Please.
87% crit rate with 185% crit damage. It's got that pyro damage bonus. Weapon, R5 gold gravestone, 4 piece, crimson witch, C6, and triple crown. No one cares? Dude, just look at this damage.
Time to go.
What are your D-Look stats? Crit EM attack.
Rain outlines your fate. Time to act. Let me read it. Busted.
What are your D-Look stats? Crit EM attack? I'm glad.
Things are about to get dicey.
Yeah, you have business with them? Mob with the mob. Calm the voila. Check your and to the top. Bird is the name. Been balling in the chain. Photo for the watch. Resi playing chain. Another meeting chain. Recipe for mom. Yeah.
You have business to attend to?
I've been shitting on D-Luke? I don't like D-Luke.
Only because I don't like his ultimate ability.
1 week later.
Let me get ones in chat. Should I buy the D-Luke skin? Holy sh**.
for Diluc's artifact sets, this part is really simple. Crimson Witch of Flames is basically always what you want if you can get it. Normally, I recommend prioritizing substats over sets, but for Crimson Witch of Flames, it's so good that you usually just want it no matter what if you can get it. If you're early game, you don't have 5-star sets, you can go for something like Berserker, but once you can get Crimson Witch of Flames, it's just the best on Diluc, pretty much by far. The reason for that is that it has a good 2-piece set, but also has an amazing 4-piece. So what it does is it gives you 15% power damage bonus, then it increases your Vaporize and Melt damage by 15%. And with Diluc, you're usually going to be Vaporizing with Xingqiu, or you can Melt, and so both of those reactions will be buffed by 15%. And then on top of that, your Elemental Skill, every time you use it, it increases the 2-piece set bonus by 50%. So you get half of 15%, 7.5 bonus pyro damage every time you use an E, and it can stack up to 3 times. Now, as we know, Diluc's E has like 3 hits, so it can fully stack this Witch set, effectively giving you that 7.5 power damage bonus 3 times, giving you another 22.5% power damage bonus on top of the 2Bs and on top of this Vaporize and Melt damage increase. And I didn't mention it, but it does increase your Overload and burning damage, but that doesn't matter as much. So yeah, overall, Crimson Witch of Flames is definitely what you want if you can get it, especially if you're running reactions, which you should be. Now for your artifact stats, these can be a bit more complicated, especially regarding your sands and if you want attack or elemental mastery, and so we're going to try to cover everything. First of all, on all your pieces, you do want to try to prioritize crit. So your main substats should be crit damage and crit rate, and attack percent and elemental mastery are very good too. The reason Elemental Mastery is good on Diluc is because if you're Vaporizing, once again, with Xingqiu, or if you are Melting, getting bonus damage from Elemental Mastery is really nice. For your Goblet, you definitely want Power Damage bonus. There's no question here. Even if your substats aren't great, Power Damage bonus is still the way to go. And for Circlet, you want either crit rate or crit damage, trying to get a 1-to-2 ratio, or as close to it as you can. Now, for your sands, there is some nuance here. Usually, for most people, attack percent sands is the best, but if you are running Diluc with Xingqiu, you are vaporizing on every single hit, so Elemental Mastery can be good and better with certain weapons. Now, again, this depends on your weapon, but if your weapon gives you a ton of attack, like a Wolf's Gravestone, you can actually get more DPS by running either a lot of Elemental Mastery substats, or an Elemental Mastery Sands. And I don't want to overcomplicate this, but I would basically say run whichever Sands is the best substats between attack and Elemental Mastery. Keep in mind, as I said, this is only if you're vaporizing with Xingqiu. If not, attack percent is the way to go. But it is very close and depends on a lot of factors. For example, your supports like Bennett give you attack percent, especially with Noblesse, and your supports like Sucrose can give you Elemental Mastery. So it does depend on you. But yeah, that's how I would summarize it. Attack percent overall, EM is competitive and can be better depending on your substats and your weapon. Now we have to talk about Diluc's weapons, and a lot has changed since the last video. In fact, my math guys at S77 had been theory crafting on Rain Slasher Diluc, Lithic Blade came out, and Serpent Spine, which I always believed was really good, is actually one of the best weapons for Diluc. So I do want to talk about a sort of weapon ranking and what you should be using depending on what you have. First of all, I want to say that Diluc is not dependent on a strong weapon. You can have a prototype archaic Diluc and he'll still be a great character. You don't need like a Wolf's Gravestone, you don't need a Serpent Spine, and I want to emphasize that before I get into the specifics. Now, first of all, for your free-to-play weapons, as always, I don't recommend 3-star weapons because of the very low base stack, but the best 3-star is Debate Club. However, I recommend getting Prototype Aminus or Archaic, they changed the name, because it is the best free-to-play Claymore for Diluc. So it is a nice, worthwhile investment. That being said, there are a lot of Claymores that can be better. First of all, Rain Slasher, especially with the refinement, but Rain Slasher can be a slight upgrade if you are running Diluc with Xingqiu. Now, if you're not, I wouldn't recommend this, but if you're running Xingqiu Diluc, enemies are constantly going to be Hydro-afflicted, and the Elemental Mastery is good because you're constantly vaporizing. So if you are running Diluc Xingqiu, Rain Slasher can be better than Prototype Aminus. Lithic Blade is also a decent option, especially depending on how many stacks you have and if it's refined, because refinement on this thing is pretty huge. However, Diluc is from Mondstadt, and a lot of his good supports, other than Xingqiu, are from Mondstadt, so it can be harder to get like more than 2 stacks. But this is still a good weapon, and something I want to mention. Blacklist Slasher is a similar option, gives you crit damage, it's better than the free-to-play options, the Minus, and it is just a pretty good weapon overall. Now for Diluc's sort of best weapons, it's basically a bunch of 5-stars and 1 4-star that we're going to talk about. First of all, I want to say the worst of the 5-stars is Scoured Pride. It's not bad, it has a high base stack, but it's not as good as people make it out to be. Yes, the vacuum blades can be good, sure, the effect is good, and with high refinement, it can get very good, but generally speaking, like especially at low refinement, because it's a 5-star, it isn't as good as other options because of the energy recharge substat, which is pretty much wasted on Diluc. The first one I want to talk about is the Serpent Spine, the Battle Pass weapon, which is effectively a $10 weapon. It is insane. Now, don't feel forced to buy the Battle Pass, but if you do get it, Serpent Spine is an excellent pickup, much better than the free-to-play options than any other sword we've talked about up till now, because you can stack it up pretty fast, you can use a shield, and it is pretty easy to keep the stacks. I know people had a fear of this, especially in like Old Abyss, where there's a lot of like cryo auras and stuff, having a fear of losing these stacks, but it is pretty easy to keep quite a lot of stacks up. Each stack will give you 6% more damage, and it goes off with the refinement. On top of that, it gives you crit rate as a substat, making it easier to get a good ratio and to deal more damage. The base stack is kind of low, but you can run Diluc with Bennett to make up for it. So Serpent Spine is an amazing option, best 4-star for Diluc, and it is more damage than the Skyward Pride, especially if you refine it. It's just a really good one. Apart from that though, there's Wolf's Gravestone and Unforged, which are just strong stat sticks. Unforged is great if you're shielded. Wolf's Gravestone is insane in general. 608 base stack, almost 50% attack from just your substat, and then gives you another 20% here, and then a 40% buff to all party members when you proc it against a low health opponent. So if you're against a lot of enemies, or if you get one low HP, it'll buff all your party members' attacks. And why this is so good is because it actually buffs your off-field support. So if you have Shing Chu's like rain swords, it'll buff him, it'll buff Official, it'll buff whatever else you're running. Because of how the passive works, it's just really, really strong. And while a Serpent Spine, especially with refinement, can give your Diluc maybe more damage than a Wolf's Gravestone sometimes, especially with Bennett, I've seen Calc showing Serpent Spine being able to out-DPS Wolves. When this passive kicks in, it's basically GG because it buffs not only your Diluc to an insane degree,
The paradise will be original. Savor it in my place. Oh, what a treat! Delicious cow!
good stuff. Onion, garlic, hot, but also all your other supports that can deal damage. To recap, I would say Alenus is the best free-to-play. There's a lot of good 4-star options as well, but Serpent Spine is the best, and 5 stars if you have them are good. Wolf's Gravestone being the best. You guys know me, for every new character, I'll make a review on C0, right? I do this for basically every new character. It's just what I like to do. But for some reason, on every banner I pull on, every new character banner, just to get a C0, I end up getting another Diluc. So I do have 2 Diluc constellations, which I honestly regret activating, and I'm not going to activate anymore. But it doesn't matter because this is a guide, so it won't change the information. But yeah, so I do want to quickly talk about the Diluc constellations. First of all, they're really good. All of them are good and give you more damage. I could basically just leave it at that. But I'll try to go into a bit more detail. C1 gives you more damage against high HP opponents. C2 increases your attack and attack speed. C3 and C4 are sort of level ups to your talents. C4 can buff your Searing Onslaught damage, which is your elemental skill. And C6 is pretty insane. Your Searing Onslaught doesn't interrupt your normal attack combo anymore. And on top of that, your 2 next normal attacks have their damage and attack speed increased by 30%, which is obviously great. But you know, even at C0, it's a great unit. And usually when I talk about Diluc, I talk about C0 Diluc because that's what most people have, and it is very good. Before we get into the party comps and talking about, you know, Diluc's best supports, comparing Shing Chu to crowd characters and all that, I want to give you some quick tips about animation cancelling and general information you should know. First of all, I covered this in my last video, but you can animation cancel his last auto attack. As you can see, there's a lot of delay. But what you can do is you can dash or you can jump right after. There's a lot of things you can do. You can even like use a skill and do a lot of things to animation cancel it. Something else you guys need to know is regarding his elemental skill, his E. And this thing has a 10-second cooldown. As you guys can see, if I go right here, the cooldown of his Searing Onslaught is 10 seconds. However, this starts once you use your first E, which means you can actually do a bunch of normal attacks in between, then use another E, normal attacks, even swap characters if you want, come back, and then use that E. And then you can see the cooldown is already back up, and I can use it again. So basically, you can do things in between your E. Let's say you need to swap characters, use a burst ability or whatever. I got hit there, so it messed up, but you can press an E, swap characters if you want, use an ability, swap back, use an E, do like 2, 3, maybe even 4 auto attacks in between, and then you can still get your E's off. And so I basically always recommend doing an auto attack between your E's. You can do a few, you can do more than one, you can do a full 4 attack combo, but I generally recommend at least doing 1 normal attack between your E's, especially if you're running Shing Chu, because it will it'll shoot like the rain swords at enemies, which is pretty good. Another technique I want to mention, you guys probably have heard of, is the plunge spam Diluc, something called Dragon Strike. It's a popular tech to maximize your damage. It can be optimal and the most damage you can get from your Diluc because of how good plunge spamming is. Now, Now, I don't want to give a full guide to this for two reasons. One, it's kind of complex, will take a lot of time, and also I suspect it's going to get patched. Now, that being said, it's definitely worth mentioning because it can be optimal DPS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what it is, how it works, and I'll link in the description some useful resources if you want to do it yourself. And this isn't a technique I personally use, so I might mess up the showcase a bit, but it's basically just spamming plunge, and that's kind of how you can deal optimal damage, especially in your burst, because your plunges will be pyro, and it will deal a lot of damage. Now I want to talk about the main reason I remade this video. One of the biggest things I want to emphasize, and that's Diluc's best supports, and we'll talk about all his team comps and stuff. A lot of which are 4 stars, by the way, so it can be very accessible. Basically, Diluc has a lot of good supports, and his best one is Xingqiu, and I kind of want to talk about his good supports and why Xingqiu is so good. Now, I didn't really know how to structure this initially, but what I think I'm going to do is talk about all his units, talk about Melt Diluc and Vaporize Diluc, show them sort of side by side, talk about the strengths and weaknesses, and why Xingqiu is so good, and why I think Xingqiu makes Diluc an S tier character. I think Diluc alone and like with K or whatever, he's pretty good, but with Xingqiu he's a lot better. Now you might be thinking, well, Melt does 2 times damage, and reverse Vaporize, right, Pyro Vaporizing, only does 1.5 times damage. So why would Vaporize be better? Well, the way Vaporize works is usually it'll take more than 1 Pyro hit to remove the Hydro element on enemies. I don't want to go too in detail on elemental gauges and how that thing works, but my math guys Res77 made a really good guide on it. Link in the description if you're interested. However, all you need to know is that you can proc Vaporize consistently on every E and on your normal attacks when your internal cooldown is off. Basically, most of your hits are just going to be vaporizing, dealing a ton of damage, and getting the 1.5 times damage bonus on almost everything is a lot better than getting a melt on like a few rare hits. Now, that doesn't mean crowd supports are terrible. You can still run them and play what you like. I can't stress that enough. But Xingqiu is always Diluc's best support, and what I would recommend if you wanted to. Now, that doesn't mean you can't run a melt Diluc. Xingqiu is really good at high consistency, yes, but melting does let you do more burst damage. You can melt all of your E's. It's just that when you use Diluc's burst, he applies pyro so fast that crowd supports usually can't keep up. But there are many ways to play Diluc, so play whichever you prefer. Now what I want to do is sort of showcase these 3 supports, reaction supports that you can often use with Diluc, talk about how they work and how to use them with your gear. Keep in mind for this part, I'm using no artifacts except the flower and a level 1 weapon just to showcase the reactions without really showing the reader. First of all, if you're running Chang'e with Diluc, it's something that can seem a lot better on paper than it actually is, but basically you can do a few auto attacks and then ease in between to make sure every single thing you do melts. That's really good, but the problem lies when you use your burst. Basically, you can melt Diluc's burst inside the field very easily, but after that, since all your attacks are pyro, you actually can't melt anymore, so all your further hits won't be doing any reactions if you're just relying on Chang'e. Now, for other crowd...
Okay, I can feel it. This is it.
Let's dance! No, my sword! I'm going in! Let me weave you a...
Time for retribution!
Adventure time! Let's light it up! Rain outlines your fate. Teamwork is strength!
I'll protect you.
Verdict is...
No, my sword!
Ready, steady, go!
Everybody stand back! Let's
Time for retribution!
Let's dip.
Rain outlines your... Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh? Ring cutter! Let's light it up!
Time for retribution!
I'm going in!
Let the show be.
Verdict is...
Let's light it up! Everybody stand! Rain outlines your...
Hey, I'll protect.
Time for retribution!
Body and... Yeah. Let's light it up! Witness the power of Viwes. Know my sword. Teamwork is dream. Not good.
Let's stay.
Let's light it up.
Verdict is...
No, I can't do that, dude. I can't. I've gotten close, yeah, but like, I don't think I can get that close. Alright, so peace out for now. I'm gonna come off and... Yeah, I know. Okay, so let me check stuff real quick. Is the sword on Bennett okay, or shall I give him Skyward? Or should I give him Sapwood? Give him Skyward. I'm trying to give Xingqiu 2-piece noblesse.
Nobis is useless on Inky.
Wait, really? Even 2-piece? Because it says here that the 2-piece can help with the burst. Which is that? And even with 1 piece of noblesse, he's been doing like... Ah, okay, okay. Come in! I'll leave that piece off him then. I am gonna start trying to build my Ayaka more too. But I don't have much for her either. Yeah, I know, I'm coming!
Bennett burst does a single tap damage.
Alright, what about Zhongling? Will Noblest work on Zhongling? Just gotta ask I'm just asking this and then I'm gonna go. I don't know that much about this game.
Or I'll guide you can copy my build.
I don't know much about these lot because I haven't played the game much. I only started since like 2020. So I'm just gonna go. If you can.
Two pence on I angling.
I know that sometimes Emblem works on her for the damage.
Emblem 2 pence act.
Okay, 2-piece Emblem, 2-piece attack. Alright, thank you. I'm gonna come off for now. Oh wait, I know a better idea. I can give her these pieces from Gonyu's set because I'm gonna try and build her full cryo.
Emblem solves the issues.
I do have the catch on her, which is supposed to be really good for her ER issues, but I don't know. Peace out for now though, I gotta go at 8. Thanks for swinging by and trying to help. My child doesn't do much damage either, but I'm still trying to work on my Xiao, but you know.